Welcome everyone to another broadcast of Southern Virginia Athletics from the Knight Sports Arena here on the campus of Southern Virginia University. I'm Art Furler here with Mike Harmon as we get ready to host the Southern Virginia Knights against the Penn State Harrisburg Nittany Lions. What do you think today, Mike?
Well, both teams coming in kind of struggling. We got Penn State at 1-6 in the conference. We got Southern Virginia at 0-6 in the conference. Someone's going to go away happy. Looks like on paper it should be a good game for the Knights.
Outstanding. Hope the best for both teams. Obviously, it is senior day here today as well. Nice to have some recognition of players that have been here for a while. We've mentioned throughout the season there's been a little bit of a struggle from the leadership side. Caitlin Klustick, the senior that's been here in and out all 4 years in a row, out. Injured, just had surgery on her ACL this week.
Yeah, just had surgery. She's out there. The surgery went well. They only had to do most of it through arthroscopics. So it's a great day that she's able to be back and walking or limping and be able to go with her team.
Yeah, on the court is better than off the court for sure. So I'm sure the Knights are happy to have her out there on the court, even if it's only in pregame. We do have the starting lineups coming in first for the Penn State Harrisburg Nittany Lions. Number 3, Esther Talamo. Number 4 at libero, Carrie Ammerman. Number 5, Rachel Hare. Number 9, Madison Chase. Number 11, Jill Elkins. Number 14, Casey Stump. And number 19, Melissa Orlandini. Mike, who you got for the Knights?
And for the Knights starting tonight will be number 1, Delaney Layton. Number 5, Melissa Owen. Number 9, Claire Hotelin. Number 10, Caitlin Toulouse. They have her starting, but I don't think that could.
Yeah, that's not going to last long.
Right. No, that might just be to get her in and then get her right out as a sub.
Yep.
Number 11, Hannah Phillips, and number 13, Emma Evans, and with number 4, Opa Moa Samfong as the libero.
Well, it should be, as you mentioned, a difficult contest today, a close one for both teams. From what we've seen throughout the Knights, I think how the first set goes will be very important. The Knights, when they've been able to establish an early lead, have really carried it through, not just that, but multiple sets. They've also, when they've struggled in the first set, at times have had a difficult time coming back.
Well, it's not just the first set, but it's really the second part of the first set is where the Knights seem to fall apart a little bit. Hopefully, if they can play for the full game, the full 25 points, they'll get up ahead very fast and then be able to just carry that momentum through to the next couple games.
Yeah, and as you mentioned last night, also there was the Knights played here at home. 18 hours ago, and played some long sets. The second set there, pulling off a 27-25 win in an extended set. So we still do see number 10, Caitlin Klustick out there. A bit of a concerning thing. And they're going to give her the first serve by the looks of it.
And here we go.
Having had ACL surgery myself, I'm concerned. I imagine they'll have her serve and then just stay out of the play for the first one.
And we got double hit by Delaney Layton.
Yep.
And here come the subs.
Yeah.
Nice to see Caitlin be able to get in and stay way out of the way.
Absolutely. Wonderful to let her play. I think that's a great gesture and is certainly worth the 1 point that you give up. And again, not even necessarily, you never know. Would have been great to see her come in and serve an ace on the first point, but then they would have kept it back there and wanted to serve another one. Almost more dangerous that way. Casey Stump now with the service for Penn State Harrisburg. And in the net.
Yeah, Valerie Beatty, the pass just brought her way too close to the net, trying to stay in. And also coming in for the Knights was Allison Teagues. And we'll have to see if they go back to that 6-2 and bring Allison over to the right side, if they're going to keep her on the left side today.
Great point. Low serve over the net to Fong. To Beatty. Hard shot down the line.
And in.
Oh, very close, but it works out. Great shot that time by Teagues.
Again, that's the best shot that Teagues can make on that left side with her being left-handed.
Claire Hotelin now serving for Southern Virginia. High one to the back line. And that one sails long, point to Southern Virginia.
And this may be the best rotation that the Knights have right now. With Claire back serving, you see both Allison and Hannah up on the front row, along with Emma Evans, who finally has come back from that ankle injury.
Oh, great to see her back in the lineup. I'm sure the Knights have really been anxious for her return. Fong with a great dig that time, off the ceiling to Beatty. And the kind of roll shot by Phillips almost. And that one played down short. and the Knights got a little bit of a run.
Well, again, if the Knights are going to be successful, this is the rotation they need to really score a majority of points on.
Hotailing service to the back. Wide set to the outside. And that one under the net that time. Great defense by the Knights, but Kiara Carter able to put that down. Now tied at 3 apiece, Jill Elkins, the freshman outside hitter for the Nittany Lions. Fong to Beatty, short set, and a little bit of a miscommunications there. I think Evans was expecting a traditional set.
Something a little bit closer to the net, maybe pushing it further toward the net.
Yep.
Again, you know, her timing has to be a little bit off.
Absolutely, being out for a little while will certainly do that to you. Elkins again, back to the back line, over to Beatty. Off the top of the hands of the defenders, good hit by Phillips. Opportunity now for the Nittany Lions.
And in. That was just a hard cut shot right there. Not a lot that Ofa Moa-Sanfong could do.
Service now continuing for the Nittany Lions for a third time. Hotailing to Beatty, back set. Hard shot by Teagues. Kept alive. Short push. Opportunity now for the Knights to Fong. Phillips off the hands of the defenders and off the upright. That's that home court advantage, Mike.
Yeah, if you don't know how to play the ball off these lower beams, it's going to be very difficult for you.
As we mentioned, Emma Evans, been out for a little while now, back in the rotation. She serves for the Knights. A little bit of a mishandle, but well taken on the second hit. Over to Beatty, over to Hotailing. Great adaptation by Phillips to get it over. Short set. Smart play at that time by Penn State.
Yeah, number 9 for Penn State, Madison Chase, really came in hard right at Beatty. And that's what you want to do if you can take the setter out quick.
Absolutely. Certainly at 5'11", a lot of advantage there at the front line. Phillips puts that one down hard. Still in play. And bumped over. Hotailing. Beatty. Short set. Owen, one of the seniors for the Knights. Oh, great dig out that time by Fong. To Hotailing. Over by Phillips. Long rally now. Blocked at the front line.
Oh, and he got, looks like they got Allison Teagues in the net.
Just barely. And after a great block, that's an unlucky break. Short set, very hard to take. Hotailing able to connect to it, but not enough to get a good angle on it.
Yeah, and it looks like Penn State's on a run now, and Coach Gwynn may want to think about taking time out to refocus her charges here.
And as it turns out, Madison Chase will give her the benefit of the timeout without having to take it by ending her own service. With a service there into the net. That'll send Delaney Layton back to the service line. Into the back line, Penn State, Harrisburg. Little help from the net cord, kept alive by Ofamoa. Hotailing gets it over the net to keep it going. Short set that time, off the hands of the defenders, but not able to get it back over the net.
Yeah, and that's where you got to press across the net. You can't just come up with the net. Even if you're even with it, the force of the ball usually pushes the hands back, and then we see it play off the net and off the body.
Long serve that time, too long. Smart decision by the Knights to let that one go, and they'll get the point. 6-9 now here in the first set, again on senior day. The Knights hosting Penn State, Harrisburg, Nittany Lions, and Hannah Phillips back at the service line. Sinker, hard to handle, but still alive. Long shot, out of bounds, point to the Knights.
Again, great job. Anytime you can get a team out of system and they have to try to bump the ball over, you have a great chance of earning a point.
Hannah Phillips again. Again, that sinker to the back. It's going to be the roll shot over by Orlandini. Beatty. Right back over short by Hotailing. Roll to the back. And
oh, and we got a back row attack.
Well, whatever gets it done, I guess. So for those who may not be familiar, can you explain the back row attack to us?
Well, number 3, when she hit, she was in front of the attack line, the solid line in the 10 foot away from the net, and she went above the height of the net to attack the ball.
So because she's in a, and there's the ace. That time, Hannah Phillips doing some work for the Knights.
Yeah, because she was in front of that line, she can't really attack. That's one of the rules to keep everything kind of even.
Sure. So because she's positionally in the back row
Yes.
and steps across. Appreciate that. Phillips, service over. A little bit of an overpass, perhaps.
Oh,
Great.
nice pancake.
Delaney Layton getting underneath that one in a hurry. Short set, and it is going to end in the Nittany Lions point, but boy, that was an impressive.
Great pancake by Delaney.
We see a lot of those throughout the season on both sides of the court here that they're unable to get there in time, and it goes off the floor, but that time, great job. Taken by Phillips, over to Beatty, over by Hotailing. Over to the Nittany Lions now, and mishit that time by Jill Elkins. May have just mistimed the height, or mistimed the jump.
Yeah, just a mistiming a lot of things on that one. Anytime it comes off the top of the fingertips, you know you mistimed your jump. She unfortunately mistimed a little bit more than that.
Ofamoa Samfong with the service ace for the Knights. Gaining a little bit of momentum now, trailing early, but now able to chain some points together, tie it up, and now take the lead here in this first set. This one going difficult to take again, and off light fixture. You're welcome, folks. We'll take that one as well. So point 12 to 10. We've mentioned it before, but it certainly bears repeating. A claustrophobic feel here in this arena. A low ceiling, difficult to play on if you're not used to it. Great job by Phillips to Beatty. Little this time, but Emma Evans able to do what is necessary on that one. And it stays in, though, on the counter, and the Nittany Lions with the point. As we predicted, at least so far, a very close match.
Very close game. Again, when we get to that 15-point mark, what is the Knights going to do after that? That's where they've had a few downfalls during this season.
Layton to Beatty. Airmailed by Hotailing, but taken by Ammerman, the libero, over again. Phillips, Beatty, Hotailing. Finds the floor, point for the Knights.
Yeah, nice hit by Claire.
Great to see a good crowd out here today as well for the Knights out supporting their team. Beatty with the service now. A little bit of an overpass and an attempt to get under it. Just not quite fast enough. Smart play with the quick over.
Very, very smart. And, never left the floor. The setter did herself, and just really caught everybody really napping on the Knights side.
Casey Stump, the sophomore setter, serving for the Nittany Lions. Oh, great adjustment. Got her in the net just a hair. But boy, it was a heck of an effort. Valerie Beatty coming up on a very difficult situation.
Yes, if she could have been able to take one more step before she jumped, she could have stopped her momentum going into the net. But
back row by Fong to Beatty. Great fake by Evans, and a great job. You generally don't want to play into the hands. Teague's kind of pinned a little bit, but able to play it off the hands in a direction.
Well, that's the smart thing to do is as long as you can play it off their hands and get it down out of bounds, is a point no matter what.
Service by Hotailing, overpass, and the kind of back jump single-handed by Phillips. Coming back the other way by Kiara Carter. The Knights keep it alive. Phillips again. One of the longer rallies. Off the hands, but out of bounds. Point to Penn State Harrisburg. And once again, tied at 14 apiece.
Yes, again, very close game. A lot of back and forth. Whoever takes charge now in the next 4 or 5 points will probably be the one that will take charge of not only the set but the match.
Woo! Hotailing with the back set, Hotailing to Beatty. The back set beautiful for Teagues.
And
putting Allison down with authority.
Allison is a game changer, especially over here on the right side. And this is, again, back to this rotation where it could be the key for the Knights. They got to score a lot of points here.
Emma Evans with the block. Melissa Owen with the block, but unable to get it down on the other side of the net. Struggling a little bit so far today.
Well, the emotion of senior day. And
oh, absolutely. And she's got a whole crew here to see her as well.
Plus playing last night.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tough loss for him. I was down at Don Tequila's in town here in Buena Vista and saw the team come in after that. And loss or not, it was great to see them all together in good spirits and everything. Hopefully got to bed, got a good night's sleep. And another ace, this time Delaney Layton. Boy, it's so key to get those points where all you need to do is serve. You conserve the energy, especially after the game last night. And with a short roster, what a benefit from that. Great dig out by Ofamoa. Kept alive by Phillips and over by Beatty. Touch shot over, great one-handed save by Phillips. And Fong puts it over. Hard to the back, and nobody home. Point for the Nittany Lions.
And again, now the short roster of the Knights comes into play as we have Valerie Beatty up front trying to block against the outside hitters of the Lions, and it's just really hard for her to be able to get up high enough to give any kind of opposition.
Boy, Esther Talamo sending that one into the net. That's rough. The Knights with several aces, the Nittany Lions with several service errors, and if not for that, it could be the opposite with the Nittany Lions up 2, but not the case. Libero sends it over to Libero. Ofamoa to Beatty. And a hard shot down the line. Claire Hoteling. And that's a timeout. Boy, the Knights able to put a few points together, now up 19-16, and I think Coach Randy Hood agrees with you that whoever gets the lead over the next few points is going to take it, and he wants to put a stop to that right now.
Well, it's not just this set that he's worried about. It's the sets coming up, because once you get that momentum on your side, unless something drastic happens, it's really hard to have it shift back. Also, the Knights, great job. They got to that 15-point mark, hadn't faltered like we've seen in the past. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with them becoming more comfortable with the new rotation they have, especially with Allison Teagues over on the right side, Claire Hoteling on the outside, playing for the Knights.
Yeah, and especially in a foreign environment like this, and you know, there's a lot to be said for playing at home and the benefit you get from there, but also there's been a very tangible couple of points that the Nittany Lions have lost due to the environment here, the ceiling, the light fixtures, things like that. So it really can get inside your head. So momentum going in your favor, the crowd going in your favor, and environmental concerns as well. I think that really accentuates that even more. Well, 19-16 now. The Knights leading here in this first set. Hannah Phillips continuing to serve for the Knights. She did job one, which is get it over the net on the timeout, but a great reaction. Rachel Hare putting it down for the Nittany Lions.
Well, again, now the Knights are in a position, though, where side-out volleyball gets them the first set.
Yeah, you reach a point where you're happy to trade points. Yes. The Knights in that situation now, assuming they can continue to do so. Layton, great save that time. Beatty to Phillips. High set, touched over. Great effort again by Layton. Hotailing off the tops of the fingers of the Nittany Lions. And airmails that one, calling for a touch.
Yep.
I had no angle on that, so
I had no angle either, but
I'll go with the referee.
The line judge over on the far side had the touch.
I just said I'm going with the referee. Oh my goodness, it's a strange kind of day, Mike. Beatty, short set, and what an angle on that. Owen just put that straight down.
And now if Beatty can extend here, that'd be great. Again, it's just side-out volleyball, which would be happy to play.
Kind of an unusual approach by Fong. She has a lot of success from the service line because it's difficult to know where she's going with it. Digs that out from the back over to Beatty. Hotailing, blocked straight up at the net. And the point over to the Nittany Lions.
Again, the crucial part of this next point is get the side out.
Carrie Ammerman serving for Penn State Harrisburg. Phillips, Beatty. Great hard shot, able to get a hard spin on it as well, Hoteling into the Nittany Lions.
Again, this rotation and the next rotation is where you want to try to finish this game out and this set out with Allison Teagues in.
Yeah, certainly shown a lot of power for the Knights, Allison Teagues. Great job by Phillips to Beatty, and there's Teagues, and there's what we're talking about, folks.
Well, it's not just the offense that you want to finish the game out right now or finish the set out now. But Allison's able to match up so well with the outside hitters of Penn State just because of her height and those broad shoulders, able to press across the net.
Beatty just barely long. 22-20, looking to close out this first set. It's Kiera Carter checking back in, had some success on the left-hand side for the Nittany Lions so far today. Service from Casey Stump. Fong to Beatty. High off the hands goes Teagues. Short set and blocked by Evans, but not over the net.
Yeah, and unfortunately right now the middles are just not having a lot of success penetrating the net. They're getting up in time, but just not penetrating the net.
Stump again with the service. Ofamoa to Valerie Beatty. Hoteling with some help from the net. It does go over. A little push that time by Carter. Evans still alive. Oh, and a great block that time. Oh, that was really cool for a minute there. Kind of a great effort, but man, that's, speaking defensively, Allison Teagues, you can see her just flick the wrist and dump it.
Well, again, because of her height, she's able to match up really well with all the outside hitters in this conference, and really be good to see her as she matures and goes more and more into volleyball next year.
Another great block that time. Short push over. Evans to Beatty. The Knights able to adjust. Sending it back over is Phillips. And that'll do it. Now the Knights 24. One more point to close out this all-important first set. And the Knight crowd getting behind their folks now. Claire Hoteling hoping to serve the last point of the set. Evans, great block and then adapting. Goes over again, off the hands of the defenders. Southern Virginia with the point. First set goes the way of the Knights.
And I don't know if that's exactly how Coach Quinn wanted it to go the whole match, the ups and downs, but the last at least 10 points, very good for the Knights, being able to hold on to a lead, manufacture points when they had to, and then come up with some great defensive stops at the net in the last 2 or 3 points.
Yeah, and you know, I think you're right. It may not have been the way she wanted, but as a coach, I imagine the what is a little more important than the why, at least in the small scale. So happy to come away with the win there in the first set.
We'll have a few scores from some other games going on today.
There's other games going on
There's
today?
other games going on today.
Oh, what do you know?
The football team is up at William Patterson, and at halftime it is 14 William Patterson, 6 for Southern Virginia.
Close game. Glad to see that. The Knights have really struggled to put points on the board in the last few weeks, so being down 8 is a pretty good margin for them.
Not bad. And then women's soccer is at York, and at halftime it is 1-0 for York.
Close game again there. Certainly one goal, very surmountable. Best of luck to the Knights in both of their programs on the away front today.
Well, what we got to do now again is try to eliminate some of the unforced errors. And if the Knights can really eliminate those, the middles can press a little bit further across the net, or actually press across the net any on their blocks. We should be able to see this second set be much easier for the Knights than the first set.
Well, you make a good point. There are a lot of things that the Knights could have improved a little bit themselves and closed that out faster. At the same time, they did have some things go their way. An unusual number of service errors for the Nittany Lions, for starters, and a few aces for the Knights as well, helping them kind of on both sides of the service side. As
long as the aces stay on our side, and we will take any help that any other team gives us.
Absolutely.
We're not above begging for help either from the nets, right?
there's no pride here. If you're going to give us points, we'll take them. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's one of the big things that across Southern Virginia athletics that the Knights have really been able to do well at times and struggled with at others, which is taking what the opponents give you and transitioning it into points.
Well, we saw that they did that well in stretches in that first set, able to get 3, 4, 5 points on some services. Also, though, we see them give back some points on some unforced errors. Again, cleaning that stuff up is going to be paramount for this team going forward. Not just this year, but as Coach Gwynn gets her recruits in the next couple of years, is if they can clean that up, they'll be in one of the top 6 spots and be able to be a consistent participant in the Capital Athletic Conference tournament.
Well, and it'll be very interesting to see which team can clean up those errors faster, because that, I think, is going to be who has the advantage here in the second set. As you said, the first set, maybe not the way that Coach Gwynn wanted it to happen. Certainly didn't go the way Coach Randy Hood wanted it to for Penn State either. And I think that both teams showing some room for growth, some errors that can be cleaned up. Really, that's the question. Who can do that first?
Well, I think also you mentioned the closed-in space that we have here, the claustrophobic space, as you want to call it, has gotten into the minds of the Lions a little bit. And if they can get away from that mindset, then they have a great chance of coming back in this second set. If they keep thinking about it, then it's going to be a very long set and match for them.
Well, and the Knight crew right behind them is going to do their best to keep it in their minds this set that we are now underway. Ofamoa with the first dig out. Beatty, and then great hit over that time by Teagues. The Knights adjusting back. That's going to be out, but it is tipped. So the first point to Penn State. Service now to Casey Stump for the Nittany Lions. Hoteling to Beatty. Teagues, and that is exactly what happens when she gets a good set that she can step up into. There's just so much power behind that, and she's really, when she's able to get her full approach, really smart about where she puts the ball.
And it'd be really interesting to see how she pairs with a power hitting outside. Hannah Phillips is a great outside hitter, but she's more finesse and smarts than she is pure power.
True.
But if you match her up with somebody that has just as much power as she has on that front row, then your offense can have so many more options.
Yeah, like a Vanessa Pollock from last year.
Vanessa would be one that we would think about. Hannah, on the other hand, you can match anybody up on the front row with her and still have all kinds of options available for you.
Absolutely. Madison Chase with the service, and she'll pull off the ace.
And that ball just dropped as it came across the net.
It absolutely did. So difficult to deal with. Another sinker, but that time it sunk before it went over the net. And there's one of those service errors that can be so impactful. Emma Evans now, sophomore middle blocker. Oh! And Teagues trying to shove that one back down the Nittany Lions' throat, and that'll do it.
Well, again, a communication error for the Lions there as the setter was going for it, and then number 11, Jill Elkins, didn't get out of the way, and we saw the little, I got it, you take it.
Yeah, absolutely, and great job by Owen with the block. The Nittany Lions finding their way through on that one, and another close going in the early set of 4-4 here in set number 2.
Well, and if you're the Knights, we'll take that. As long as you can stay close to that 15-point mark and then start to make your easy getaway.
Hotailing to Beatty, Owen puts it over. Smart roll on that. Phillips, Beatty, Phillips, and we made it all the way through the first set without a double hit.
That is a great and marked improvement.
It is for both the home team and our opponents throughout this season. But that is an error that'll send the point over to the Nittany Lions. Smart call. Phillips and Hotailing talking it over, decide to let it go, and it sails long. And Penn State really hurting themselves with these service errors.
Well, that's the way the game and nature of the game has been going lately, is try to serve it as hard as you can. Go for the aces, and if you make an error, you make an error.
And the ace. Delaney Layton still much what we saw in the first. Service errors plaguing the Nittany Lions and aces helping the Knights.
And since she's been inserted into the lineup regularly as a setter, the Knights have really started to find a lot of continuity and take off.
That is 2 aces in a row. I don't care what you're playing.
Look at her face.
She's like,
I don't know.
I don't know what I did, but all right. Yeah, a couple of aces are good no matter what you're doing. Oh, I think she was hoping for the third. No such luck.
Nice
Great
dig.
Yeah, dig by Ho-tailing Beatty. And then not the finish they were looking for. You like to see more people go for it than nobody go for it, but in that case, didn't work out.
Again, communication, you got to get loud.
Jill Elkins now with the service. Ho-tailing. Beatty. Phillips blocked. Great dig out by Owen to Beatty. Over into the back by Ho-tailing. Dug out by Fong. Owen sends it long. And too long, the point over to Penn State Harrisburg.
Yeah, that set was a little bit back behind Melissa. She had to reach back for it and change the trajectory of the whole shot.
Ofamoa. Beatty. Phillips. Coming back. And a heck of an effort going to the floor that time.
Madison Chase, though, was able to really get a great jump on the back row and angle it down.
And despite the early success, overpass taken well by Ho-tailing. Phillips, boy.
And how did she stay out of the net?
That's what I was
amazing.
If her hair was 1 inch longer on the swipe back, she'd have been in trouble. Nobody really playing in system that time, but the Knights able to adjust.
No, that's what we talked about Hannah again, being able to do so many different things up on the front row.
Very true. Off the Knights front line, Phillips to Beatty, Ho-tailing. Off the antenna. Smart play, just a hair off on execution. And still close now, 8-9. The lead now the way of Penn State Harrisburg. Phillips to Beatty, Owen. And you could tell by the way they were positioned that was a set play. They were looking to do that from the start.
And with the set out in front of Melissa, she's able to really get the proper angle on the hit, snap through, and find the floor.
Kind of a float serve that time by Fong. Taking at the net. Ho-tailing. Good push over, and again, Beatty able to stay out of the net as well. Roll to the back. Fong, Beatty, short Evans, and sniffed it out that time was Kiera Carter. Great job by her.
And Emma's got to make sure that when she comes in to hit, nothing goes straight ahead. Got to find the angles to take away that blocking power that the Lions have shown.
The Knight faithful getting involved. Great set, but unfortunately that's into the net. And that point actually over to Southern Virginia. I didn't think that went over the net. I thought they were going to call it a 4, but again, we'll take what the refs give us too.
Exactly, because you're with the refs today, remember?
I am. That's true. It is a strange day. And that one wide, and the Knights now back 11-10.
Maybe you should be with the referees more often.
Don't say stuff like that.
We're ahead up. We're
right.
up 1-0.
Well,
we're ahead 11-10 now.
Maybe the refs should be with me more often.
Okay.
About that. Right. Hard shot.
But we got a touch.
Unlucky. 11-10 now. Will be 11-11. And back at Casey Stump, the beginning of the rotation for Penn State. Fong, Beatty. Smart play. And I didn't see anybody even try for that one. It's like, I don't know whether they were Penn State was conceding the point or just really slow to react, not seeing it till after the ball was on the ground, but either way. Push to the back, Fong, Beatty, Teagues. And that's going to be Knight point off the antenna, I believe.
Off the antenna, and again, this is the rotation where the Knights really have to do a lot of good things with earning points, as you got Teagues and Phillips up on the front row. Beatty has a lot of choices now.
Mishandled, but maintained. Phillips.
And there's what's going to happen as we get further into not only this season, but next season. You saw that the middle blocker was very slow getting over, didn't know whether to go to Teagues or to Phillips.
Well, and because Penn State struggled and really collapsed to that side, it was a great job by the Knights coming back the other way to the open side of the... Oh, great job by Evans there at the net. Fong. Phillips sends it to the back. Great job by Fong again. Beatty, Phillips. Short set. Oh, tries to go over in two. I don't know that I've seen that before. The smart play, the Knights ready for it, but unable to get it over.
Yeah, and it's usually the center that tries to go over it too.
Yeah.
And not the right side hitter.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can out-trick your own self.
Absolutely. It certainly looked to be the case there. 15-11, the Knights able to go from an 11-11 tie, putting 4 points in a row, and Randy Hood says, you know, let's not make it 5.
Well, this 6-2 that the Knights are running has just been fantastic for them. The only thing that, again, if we had a crystal ball or a genie to pop out, if we could have one more right side hitter to come in and play for Valerie Beatty when she rotates to the front that had a little bit more height on her, that would just make it, that 6-2, just that much better. But right now they're doing a great job on covering. They're doing a great job on, especially when we have Phillips and Teagues up front. Beatty's really disguising where she's trying to set the ball and is making that defense guess. And when the defense starts guessing, then you're going to have one-on-one blocking, and we can see that Teagues, Phillips, and even Evans is going to win that most of the time.
Well, and that goes to another point. We've seen a lot of smart play individually, but this really starting to show some more smart team play, and that timeout, by our definition, not successful. Not only does it not break the service of Claire Hotel, it gets the ace.
Yeah, and Claire was very successful in the fact that she served the ace instead of serving it out of bounds.
Absolutely, and a hard block by Phillips combining with Evans. And, you know, it's that kind of situation where the timeout really hurts you because you try to break the momentum, but when the other team knows that's what you're trying to do and you put together 2 points immediately following, including an ace, that hurts.
Well, that's something that you need to practice to and get in your practice settings, is having timeouts and then serving right after that to eliminate any chance of serving out of bounds or instant net.
Desire Garcia checks in for the first time for the Nittany Lions. And it stays with the Knights. It looks like the Nittany Lions looking for a touch. They're not going to get it. And even after the timeout, the Knights putting together 3 more points. Desire Garcia gets the touch there, and they will get that one, but not after the Knights do some substantial damage. And now even after that point, maintain a lead of 6.
Well, again, though, you don't want to do anything but play timeout, play side-out volleyball.
Very good short serve. But Teagues, not wanting to see another one, says, we'll just take service back if that's all right.
And you can see Penn State's having a tough time getting their subs in. They got to be up there before the referee blows the whistle to serve, and they're just being a little bit too late.
Emma Evans with the ace. Boy, the Knights, you know, we've said in previous broadcasts, the Knights have gotten a few aces this year in service, but I don't think nearly as many as they've had in the first set and a half.
Well, they're not trying to do anything special with it either. We see all the aces have really come from serving with both feet on the ground.
Over and 1, an opportunity for the Knights, and it's over off the ceiling. So again, for those of you who may not be familiar with the rule, the ball can touch the ceiling and stay on the same side and still be playable, but if it hits the ceiling, goes over the net, it's not.
It's out.
And so another timeout taken by Coach Randy Hood of the Nittany Lions. So to review, tied at 11. The Knights go on a run to make it 15-11. Timeout taken. They get up to 18-11 before the Nittany Lions able to break the service, making it 18-12. The Knights immediately respond back and go on another three-point run, 21-12, 2 timeouts later.
Well, again, we talked about this at the very beginning. Whoever won that first set was probably going to have the momentum for the lion's share for the rest of the set. And we're looking at that right now with the Knights playing so well in the second set, carry this momentum into the third set, and be done in 3.
Yeah, and currently on a 10-1 run. Speaking of momentum, the Knights out there looking like they're having fun, and a lot of concern on the face of this Penn State Harrisburg team. Emma Evans for the Knights. Gets it over the net. And kind of an awkward approach on that, but it works out. The Nittany Lions able to put that one down.
It looks like Hannah was expecting more of a hard cross court, and they went more of a softer cross court. She could have moved further back toward the back line.
Phillips to Beatty. Oh, Owen able to adjust that and get over.
Great
What
job by
a
Phillips.
brute. Hannah Phillips just sneaking up on the Lions there. Wow.
You see, Penn State's trying to argue that she was over the net before the third hit, interfered with it, and obviously the down referee didn't agree, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. And followed by an ace.
And Delaney Layton just sitting there shaking her head going, I don't know what's going on.
Hey, but I'll tell you, the Nittany Lions are just, they're hemorrhaging points at this point. This set is not only done, but they're, the Knights really, oh my goodness.
And you can see the ball just drop. She's serving such a knuckleball right now that there's no spin on it. There's no telling where it's going, and it's dropping straight to the floor.
That is twice that the Knights have served back-to-back aces in this second set. The Knights wanting to close out right here. And back-to-back blocks by Owen. Ho-tailing to Beatty. And that'll do it. Hannah Phillips, the crowd goes wild. The Knights close that one out very quickly. 25-13 sounds impressive, but even more so when you realize they finished that on a 14-2 run. How do you recover from that?
If you're Penn State, you're just going to have to put that behind you and understand that you got one more set to play, and that's the only set that matters. Whatever happened before is no big concern. But for the Knights, now they've got to continue on that same type of intensity level. If they don't, then we're going to have some major problems and could turn a hopefully 3-set win into a 5-set match.
Well, in this way, you really have to say it's going to cut in the favor of Penn State Harrisburg by just a little bit, because it is Senior Day, and we're going to do the Senior Day recognitions here in just a minute between sets, which will give them a little bit longer of a break, talk things over.
Well, this is something that has been unusual now for the Knights, is to come in and have such a long break in between sets 2 and 3. And hopefully, I don't want to say, just the coach and me thinking, you don't want to do anything to break this momentum, and you hope that this won't break the momentum of honoring your seniors in between sets 2 and 3 instead of having it done at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and that's where that strategy of when you do it, which you do have some flexibility with, can kind of come into play. I'm sure the Knights would love to just say, yeah, you know what, we're just going to do this after the game right now. But the extended break will give them an opportunity to celebrate their seniors, the contributions they've made, certainly, and we'll see how that affects the third set here in just a minute. But you do see the Knights gathering here at midcourt to honor the couple of seniors that we have here, Melissa Owen and Caitlin Tlustik.
Well, while they're getting set up for that, Southern Virginia has just scored in the opening part of the third quarter to make it 12-14 for William Patterson.
Oh, the football game against William Patterson. Good to see them hanging tough in that one.
Yeah, you just would hope that they would have hit those 2 extra points, or maybe they went for 2 on the second one and didn't get it, but you'd hope that that's not going to come back into play to cause the loss.
Yeah, the attempt there failed, so the Knights still trailing a little bit, but good to see Jared Watts punching that in. What a great guy he is. You know, he's one of those who's always got a good attitude. He's happy about what he's doing, but he's also not content. So we're seeing now the seniors being recognized here. Melissa Owen out there with her family. We'll go to exactly what is being shared there with the folks here in the arena. Melissa, a native of Mission Viejo, California, finishing her 2nd season for the Knights after transferring from Utah State University. In her 2 years playing, Owen has earned 144 career kills and 9 aces. She's recorded 7 assists, 23 solo blocks, 66 block assists, and 52 digs. She's played in 49 matches as a middle blocker here at Southern Virginia. Last night, Owen had a career-high 11 kills against Virginia Wesleyan, and also earned a season-high of 5 blocks in 3 separate matches. Last year, she was named to the fall and spring semester provost list. Not an easy thing to do, particularly if you know the standard of excellence of our provost, and to the CAC all-academic team. She's majoring in liberal arts here at Southern Virginia, and she's escorted today by her parents, Mark and Christina Matheson, tied to the university here as a professor and working in the development office as well, and her children, Hannah and Ethan. So great contributions she's made here. Good to see the crowd giving it up for her and what she's done for the program here. Mike, I think you've got more of a relationship with Caitlin. Why don't you give us some details here on our other senior, Caitlin Tlustik?
Well, I've only been able to know her for the last, 4 years, and was privileged to be able to be her coach in her freshman season. Caitlin is from Bedford, Indiana, and has played 4 years for Southern Virginia. Due to an ACL injury, she's unable to finish out her senior season, but has made significant contributions to the program. And you can see right now that not only is she not able to finish it out, but she's been able to go and have the surgery, come back, and we actually saw her in the first set serve.
Well, and I got to say, it's no mistake that there's been a number 10 inked onto the arms of players throughout the season. It's been no mistake that it's very easy to get an injury and just kind of hang out on the bench and not do anything. But she's up around, she's motivating this team. She's still the emotional leader of this team.
Since her freshman year, Caitlin has played as a setter in 84 matches and holds Southern Virginia career records for assists with 2,110 and aces with 150. She has nearly 600 career digs. Last year, she led the team with 629 assists for a 5.82 assists per set average, while also leading the team with 53 service aces. She also earned a season high of 50 assists against Randolph College to go along with the season best 13 digs. In her 2013 season, Tlustik was named CAC Player of the Week following her performances against St. Mary's University, Wesley College, and York College. She was also named to the USCAA Setter of the Week 2 consecutive times. Tlustik is majoring in family and childhood development, and she's escorted by her parents, Hein and Stephanie Tlustik.
Well, you can see a lot of emotion out there from the team. A lot of love for these players. That's kind of one of the benefits of having a smaller squad, I think, is you can be a lot more tied together that way. You can really get to know people better, and it's really a very, very tightly knit group.
It is. And it's usually always like that with volleyball because you never have more than about 15 players anyway. And you're always confined on such a short and small space. Being out on the volleyball court, it's only a 30 by 30 area. So you have to really be able to work well with one another in that area, and it just carries over into the arena outside of the arena, actually.
Well, it's kind of unique as well because if you look at other sports, if you look at soccer, you look at basketball, you look at football, you look at just about every other sport, there's almost no other one where you're confined to that space just with your people in that space at a time. I mean, you could say that with baseball, you're really not interspersed a lot with the other team, but there's still so much ground that you're covering between the two. It's really not the same thing. So it really does foster that same thing because you're in such a small place with the same amount of people for such a long period of time.
Yeah, again, it's 900 square feet out there, and you're putting 6 people in that area. You really have to learn how to work together, and you grow to love each other, especially those that you play with and beside all the time.
Absolutely. Well, the Knights lead 2-0 against the Penn State Harrisburg Nittany Lions today. The first set hotly contested, and the Knights able to pull away at the end. The second set very competitive for that those first 11 points, but then the Knights just really turning it on and closing out with a 14-2 run. Again, the break here maybe cutting the way of Penn State. They looking across the faces, they appear to be energized back into things a little bit, and maybe a little more confidence have shaken off that second set. You got to imagine the Knights may be a little distracted, but also maybe a little extra motivation to win this last set, close out quickly for their seniors.
Well, what they have to remember is they don't have to do anything different. They just got to play solid volleyball, and that's what's really gone there. We haven't seen them do anything really spectacular, especially with their serves. They've just been getting the ball across, keeping the ball lower than the height of the top of the antenna, and being able to find great success with that. So they don't have to do anything major right now different. They just have to keep playing volleyball.
Well, and at the same time, you say they haven't been doing anything extraordinary, but getting the ball over, being able to consistently do that really is an extraordinary thing. And they've done it so far today better than they've done it all season long.
Well, and again, you never know what's going to happen. If you can keep the ball in, if you can limit your own unforced errors, that's going to cause or allow the other team to make those unforced errors. So again, just keeping the ball in is a major thing that the Knights have been working on in practice, trying to better the ball, trying to create some more free balls. And obviously, whatever they're doing in practice for service is really working.
It's working, absolutely. Well, and I think you're right. It's those service errors, keeping the service errors out, not only create opportunities for the other team to then make errors, but I think it prolongs those streaks of points that can be such a huge boon. I mean, again, if you looked at the end of that last set, the Knights they were just like they were on top of the world 5 points before the end of that game, and Penn State essentially gave up.
Well, we'll see how things are going to progress here. Again, it's not the beginning that we worry so much about the Knights. It's always that from point 15 on. And if they can maintain focus from point 15 on, they're going to find a lot of success.
Absolutely true. At the same time, I think if the Knights can get off to a hot start and do essentially what they did at the end of that last set, boy, that will be a huge blow emotionally and motivationally to this Penn State team.
Yeah, you could bury them if they get off to a very hot start.
So here we go. About to start set number 3. The Knights up 2-0.
And we've just got the stats, and the big thing that jumps out really is the receiving errors. 8 for Penn State Harrisburg, only 2 for the Knights. A difference of 6 points right there.
And 8 aces. My goodness. Leighton with 4 serving aces. Lest we forget, 2 of them, that's 2 pairs of 2 as well. Very rare that you see an ace, certainly rare that you see them back-to-back, and even more rare you see it twice in the same set back-to-back. Beatty starting things off.
And they're called on the line.
Boy, that hurts when you make a conscious decision to say, nope, it's going to go out, and then it doesn't. And it starts off the way of the Knights. Beatty again.
And unforced errors.
Yeah, we've talked about curses.
I don't think you cursed them, though.
We've harped a bit on the Knights' ability to avoid service errors and starting off with one there. But we'll see how that affects them going on to the rest of this. Casey Stump now for the Nittany Lions. And giving right back that one, frankly, not even really close to the top of the net.
No, and You know, if they're going to do monkey see, monkey do, then if the Knights score 3 points and then serve in the net and have Penn State Harrisburg serve in the net right afterwards, okay.
Hoteling serves now for the Knights. And that one coming back and off the face of Kiera Carter. And boy, I was saying Penn State Harrisburg looked to have shaken it off, but looks on faces now. There's a lot of concern again. We're only 4 points into this set, Mike. That is not going to help. Another ace for the Knights and just doing so much damage, and a timeout. 4-1 and a timeout taken by Coach Randy Hood. I think that's the earliest timeout I've seen in volleyball.
It's one of the earliest, but Penn State Harrisburg's coach doesn't want to let this get away too quickly. He's seeing some things out there on the floor that he really doesn't like, and hopefully he wants to make corrections now instead of trying to let his players figure it out 2 or 3 points later.
Yeah, and maybe saw the same thing I did, that attitude just dropped so quickly. I mean, you get the call on the line, you know, that's 50-50. You may feel that you may have gotten slighted on that one, and it gets in your head, and you add that to an ace, and boy, it can take such an emotional toll so quickly. So a very early timeout, but now 4-1. The service does get over. Blocked and rolls down the net cord. Great job by Evans and Teagues. And that one not over the net.
Right now the Lions are really out of system. You see they're setting the ball about 8 foot back from the net. That really gives the blockers great amount of time to set up and get where they want to get.
Ooh, and that one very low, very uncharacteristic by Hoteling, who's had a ton of success from the service line today. Madison Chase now at the service. Beatty, Phillips. And the Nittany Lions just looking really sluggish here in the third set.
Yes.
Not laying out and not committing.
Not really where they want to be right now. And you see a sub coming in. And Hannah just had one-on-one blocking up there. And when you have that and you have as smart as hitter and as experienced hitter as Hannah, you're going to find the floor more times than not.
And boy, trying to figure out what's going on. Alexis Sanders into the game, I believe it's her first today, and trying to figure out exactly where she's going, what's going on. Some confusion there. Jill Elkins being taken out. She looked very shaken so far. She is a freshman. That tends to happen a lot more. Got the rotation worked out. We are good to go now. And Emma Evans now serving for the Knights. And a good dig by Hoteling, but the point does go over to Penn State Harrisburg.
Yeah, just not able to chase that one down.
Rachel Hare checking in for the Nittany Lions. And Caden Smith comes in the lineup for the Knights for the first time. And they go right at her immediately.
And she gets the bump kill.
and Coach Hood really upset about that. I mean, what do you say? You barely.
Well, you know, they executed what they wanted to do the first by serving at the new one in.
Yep.
Caden just gets it back over for the bump kill as none of the lines moved.
Just like she drew it up.
Just like she drew it up.
Leighton's service now. Owen finds the floor, and again, there's just a lot. I don't even know what to say. There's little energy coming from the Lions right now. They are acting very defeated already. Phillips with a hard shot.
And Hannah in this third set is just whatever she wants to do, she's getting able to do.
She's getting it. Well, and it's like the Nittany Lions are standing in concrete. Nobody's moving. Leighton serves to the back. Dug out well by Caden Smith. Phillips. And And now with the overpass.
And Hannah Phillips is just really racking up the stats in this one set.
Yeah. Well, and this is exactly what I was talking about, Mike, is there was so much air that came out of the room at the end of that second set. Good to see an effort by the Lions that time to come up on that, but it's just too slow.
And that's number 5 service ace for Delaney Layton.
Yeah, it is adding up quickly. Madison Chase checking out, and that'll be Desire Garcia back in, who came in late in the second set as well. Layton goes right at her, and that is 3 now back-to-back aces for Delaney Layton.
Whatever Delaney did this morning, she needs to do for every match.
What did they serve in the dining hall this morning? Comes over to Smith, to Beatty, to Phillips. And Phillips is just having her way.
And this is what we've got used to seeing Hannah last year. She's battled a few nagging injuries, bronchitis, kept her down for a while, and now she's just finally getting back to like full health. And what a volleyball player!
Absolutely true. 13-4. A staggering start if you're the Lions. Jill Elkins now back in the rotation and serving. Ofamoa, Beatty, Hannah going right at Desire Garcia.
And when things are working for you, things are working for you. If Garcia would have stepped out of the way, that would have sailed out of bounds.
Yep.
But, Hannah just has it going her way right now.
Claire Hotailing back in the lineup. And Hannah Phillips now wanting to see what she can get from the service line. Great dig out that time by Fong. Over in 2 and over in 1. And a misplay to overpass. Nobody really knowing what to expect there. And Emily Erickson in the lineup now for Southern Virginia.
Good to see the freshman from here in Buena Vista able to get into the set.
Absolutely. Going right at her, and she digs it out very nicely. Nice. Beatty.
Got a 2 call.
Oh, we had such a chance. But we should say, 2 calls have been very limited so far today.
And they did attack Emily, and they should probably expect for her to be attacked again, but she made a great pass.
And did so again. Over to Beatty. Hard block at the net, and the Nittany Lions now on a bit of a run, 14-7. And considering it started, I believe, 14-3, signs of life now from Penn State. And just as it starts to come together, the Nittany Lions hurt themselves with a service error. Ofamoa Sam Fong. Almost with an ace herself. Roll shot. Back to Fong. To Beatty. Hotailing. Finding little resistance. That's the only way I can think to describe it.
Well, in retrospect, this would have been a great game for them to start out with instead of starting out with CNU in the conference. Their confidence level would have been much higher, and we may have seen some difference in some of the outcomes.
Low serve over the net. And I got to say, heroic effort by 5'5" Valerie Beatty on the front line, but very, very difficult. Not what she's on this team to do. And wow.
And you're talking about self-destructing.
Yeah, that serve well short of the net. And this is unfortunate. Nobody wants to see it ending this way.
No.
Nobody. Beatty's service. Good set. And just thrown right back by Teagues. And that one long. Point to the Knights. And the rout is back on. The lead is 10. 18-8 here in the third set. Beatty's service. Well from the back. And a great execution that time, despite a set well behind the net. (18-9). Service from Casey Stump. Short set, adapted well by Evans. Set again by Beatty. Back set this time, and Teagues over and one, overpass. Wow. Evans tries to put down the overpass, but kind of an uncommon block of the overpass shot by Kiera Carter.
Well, it was so high and coming down just in a very predictable fashion. Emma should have just taken it and dumped it one way or the other instead of trying to hammer it down.
And that one, that point going the way of Penn State Harrisburg. I think a good call.
Very good call. Nice to see the line judge got overruled by the up referee.
Taken well by Erickson to Beatty. And a hard shot down.
Yeah, Teagues didn't want any controversy on that.
Yeah, that one was pretty clear. Center of the court and a touch, all kinds of ways.
Women's soccer's come back to tie up York 1-1.
Things going well for Southern Virginia on multiple fronts today. And that one into the net. No assistance necessary, but it was there anyway. 20-11 now. The Knights looking to close out with Hotailing.
Nice serve by Claire. Oh, great blocking effort by Evans and Phillips, and then Teagues is able to clean up the overpass. So there we see this front line of Phillips, Evans, and Teagues able to really wreak havoc on the Lions.
Boy, and another set far from the net, really hurting the Lions. They've been unable to get their kill attempts over the net at all. Short set. Oh, smart play. Very smart play that time by Penn State. So the Knights close out the first set 25-21, the second 25-13. Seeing where this one ends up. Phillips to Beatty to Phillips, back over. Evans a little excited maybe on the overpass.
Again, and that should have been, maybe a better thought would have been just to dump it someplace.
Agreed. Fong, Beatty, Phillips. Certainly with a touch. And in the net,
Evans.
Knights a little sloppy on closing this out, perhaps.
Well, that's what happens when you get such a big lead and you don't know how to play with it. And that's something that the Knights really haven't had all season long.
Yeah, just trying to have some fun, perhaps, as well. Great play that time by Phillips. That's what we're talking about. Just look for the dump, look for the opportunity to make the smart play, even if it's not necessarily the flashy play.
Well, and it goes down for a kill in her stats also.
Emma Evans. Great outside set. And Teagues with the help of Owen next to her for the block. And what do you know? Coming back in, Caitlin Slustig.
Get hopefully the last serve of the game.
Boy, that would be a very appropriate end, Mike. Hang out with us after the match, folks. We are going to have interviews with Caitlin Slustig, Melissa Owen, and head coach Nicole Gwynn. Hotailing and Phillips now, and that'll do it. What a win. So appropriate to have Caitlin on the court there to round that one out. The Knights win that one 25-14, closing out in 3 sets. Really 3 quick sets, considering those second and third ones just quite short. I don't know what more you can really ask from your team today if you're Coach Gwynn.
No, they came to play and did such a great job, especially trying to deal with the emotions of Seniors Day and deal with the emotion of being 0-6. They limited their own unforced errors, especially in the second and third set, and really put a lot of pressure, especially that front line of Phillips and Evans and Teagues, put a lot of pressure on the Lions by just creating a lot of options.
Yeah, and it's what we've wanted to see all season. It's been avoid those unforced errors, capitalize on the unforced errors of your opponents, and just play solid, consistent volleyball. So I'm going to step aside here. We'll have Mike Harmon here interviewing Coach Nicole Gwynn and the 2 seniors of the day, Caitlin Tlustik and Melissa Owen.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Coach?
Doing well. Got a question for you that we've been noticing and talking a little bit about your switch going to a 6-2. Is that something that came out of necessity, or is that just a brainstorm that you had one night?
It was a little bit of both. What happened was we had, we obviously lost Caitlin early in the season, so then we had Val, and then we had 2 sprained ankles, our middle and Val. So we needed our other backup setter to take care of that middle spot in an emergency situation. So then we slid Delaney over there, and it was something we'd been experimenting anyway, and then it did become a necessity at times. So.
Well, it looks like you may have found a lot of success and hopefully more success in the next couple matches that you have with it, especially when you have Hannah Phillips and Allison Teagues on the same front line. Just gives your offense a lot more options.
Yeah, it does. It makes the other blockers work a lot harder.
Well, it makes the other blockers work a lot harder. Plus, now you got someone that can go up physically one-on-one if she has to with the outsides of the opposing teams. Mm-hmm. Now, being in your first year, you have 2 seniors here. Can you give us just a little bit about what they've meant to this team?
Oh, my word.
Oh.
I don't know if I can take just a minute. Caitlin, she just has an incredible knowledge of this game, incredible volleyball IQ. So even though we lost her early in the season as a player, she's been such a crucial asset in just helping us see things that we don't always see as coaches, and just being an excellent role model for her teammates and somebody that they can really depend on and look to. And Melissa, with the experience that she has just in life in general, she's so much older than the rest of the girls. She's just got such a unique perspective in the game, and I think that's really helped the girls too. She was out of this game for so long, so she was so much more grateful for it than some of the younger girls are who haven't left it yet. And so she was able to help them, when they were struggling, just remember that they love this game.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking a few minutes. We're going to get to the seniors now and let you go back and celebrate this great 3-set win with your team.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for coming by. Hi, Caitlin.
Hello.
We meet again.
Again.
I know this isn't the way that you wanted your senior season to finish, but let me just congratulate you on being able to watch you grow over the last couple of years. I said earlier that I had the fortunate opportunity to coach you in your freshman year. You had the unfortunate opportunity to be one of my players for the freshman year. And then just seeing you grow out throughout the next couple of years has just been fantastic.
Thank you.
So I know we're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to give you a big hug.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate
now,
it.
What does it? You've seen your team progress now.
Mm-hmm.
You get your first conference win.
Yep.
And how is this in relation to maybe last year? Wins came pretty easy to you. You've seen your team struggle. What have you been able to do to try to help them?
I've definitely tried, as a senior leader, tried to be as vocal as I can with them, explain to them that they have every possibility to win no matter what happened last year, no matter what we're going through this year, because we have had a few struggles as a team, learning how to come together and be able to play for each other, but we finally were able to, especially today and last night especially, we were coming together more as a team, and that's what we really focused on, was being a family and being able to play for each other instead of playing as a selfish team. And so I'm so proud of them for stepping up and finally taking the win and getting what they deserve. So,
well, hopefully you got 2 more matches, right? Hopefully 3 more matches. All right, 3 more matches, and then hopefully some of this momentum can translate through to those next matches, and everybody end on a very high note.
Yep, I hope so.
Now, is there any words of wisdom that you'd want to give? We asked some of the seniors on the soccer team this, the women's soccer team. Is there any words of wisdom that you would give to someone who, they're on the fence? Maybe I want to go play for Southern Virginia, maybe I don't. What would you tell them?
This experience coming here has really changed my life. You don't get to be in such a small environment with such a great religious background with it as well, and it definitely is a rewarding experience to be able to have the bonded connection, especially like with a big crowd coming out and supporting you, and everyone knowing you on campus and congratulating you or having your back. Like for me, I had so many people come up and just be like, I'm sorry about your injury, like I know how hard you've worked, and being able to have that support system constantly is just a great thing that you don't get, I'm sure, at most other colleges. And so it's nice. I would definitely say that would be the big clincher for me.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
I see your parents over there. Go have fun with your parents
Okay.
and go have fun with your team, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Coach Harmon.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
You're doing much better after the win too, right?
Definitely, yeah. That's always a good feeling to
All
win.
right. So, what do you think maybe have been the difference in, say, when y'all played against CNU to right now? Because obviously the score was different, but there seems to be something happening within the team that looks a little bit different, and we think or speculate it may be coming from the seniors.
Yeah, I definitely think that after we played CNU, we realized that they were ranked, and that was a huge thing for us, that we knew that they were highly ranked, and we played really well against them. And so I think that even though we didn't win, once we kind of realized, like, hey, we actually could play well against some of these teams, I think that there was just kind of that shift in we wanted it a little bit more, and we wanted to push a little bit more. And then, yeah, I think that some of the returners and us, we kind of just, I know I talked to some of the girls about how we just needed to realize that we have the talent and we can do this. So. Well,
and it really showed through tonight. A lot of unforced errors by the Lions, not so many by the Knights this evening, and that's something that has been maybe not a plaguing, but just rearing its ugly head at the wrong time for you earlier on in the season. Tonight, everybody took care of business, especially on the service line. And then after about the first set, the blocking really became a lot more consistent, especially pressing across the net. And you had a huge hand in that because you got huge hands, right?
Literally.
Well, again, we're impressed with the way that you've played the last 2 seasons. Ask this to all the other seniors we've talked to, women's soccer, Caitlin just now. If you were talking to a young lady that was on the fence, do I want to play volleyball at Southern Virginia? Do I not? What would you tell her that would characterize maybe what you experienced and what she could expect to be here, find here?
Well, obviously, I've had a different experience here, being as experienced, we say, as I am. With this being a 15-year journey for me to coming here, it's definitely something that I've cherished, that I am amazed that I've even had the opportunity to do it. And just what a blessing it was, first off, just for me to even be able to do this and to have the opportunity. That being said, some other places, when I played originally, that was a great experience for me. But coming here to Southern Virginia, I think it's a different experience. I think that you have the support of all the other teams. You have the support of the student body, because a lot of the student body is athletics. And so you get that support. And so as we saw tonight, the crowd can have a huge difference. It can really pump you up. And I really think that there's so much support here at Southern Virginia from the professors, from the athletic department, from the other teams, the student body, that sometimes you just don't get at some of the bigger universities. And so I've just really enjoyed the experience here, and I think that it's everybody working together to make sure that We kind of laugh, it's that whole student athlete thing, but it really is. They make sure that you're a good student, that you're a strong student. The professors are very good about if you're traveling and things. They're very accommodating. And then on the athletic side, you're allowed to be an athlete, and you can do both, and it works very well in this kind of environment to be able to do both.
Well, thank you for stopping by. We'll let you go
Thank you so much.
and have a good time with all your extended family that's here.
Yeah, it's been great to have everybody.
Enjoy the win, and then be ready to play next time.
Okay, great. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much,
much.
Coach.
All right, well, this is Mike Harmon talking for, let's not have a lot of.
Close to a Gatorade.
Yeah, getting ready to leave right here. Well, it was a great game today, Art. Saw a lot of good things that the Knights were able to put together for just a fantastic win, and were able to talk to some seniors and get some of their wisdom and parting words.
Yeah, great way to finish out a season and a career for them. Wonderful to see, especially Caitlin able to get on the court. It has to be so disappointing to not be able to contribute more to her team on the court this season, but just a wonderful way to finish things out. But despite this ending our season, don't forget we do have basketball season getting underway. Our broadcast will continue for that. And a big thanks to everyone who's made our broadcast possible. Jan Michael Angelis, who's actually operating the camera right in front of us right now. Parker Monson, so many people, Josh Adams, Craig Reese, and especially the donors who've been able to help us out financially to make this work. Big thanks to everybody there. Craig Reese for running it for us. For the entire crew, for Southern Virginia Athletics, Mike Harmon and I'm Art Furler. Thanks everybody for joining us.